All right, Mr. Drew, here we go. So I'm going to ask the question, give you the answer, and then I will say next one so you know to make that a separate question and answer. The question needs to be highlighted in the form of a question, and then make sure it's paragraphed and formatted like you normally do. Okay, so the first one I already did, which is what is a recovery coach? That's done and sent. So, number two, how does a recovery coach work? A recovery coach works individually with clients on a one-on-one basis or in a group setting. They can be in person, they can be by phone and Skype, or they can be, I guess that's it, by in person or by phone and Skype. The recovery coach can do 1 hour at a time or do several hours at a time where they're with a client, maybe on site, going to a wedding or going to a party to keep them sober, or working intensely, giving them exercises and activities to help them get unstuck. You have to think of a recovery coach as a life coach that understands addiction and helps somebody through whatever's causing them to be stuck. So they work by using different activities such as purpose and passion. They work using activities such as circle of influence, timeline, even food mood journal, depending on what their issue is. Next question. What does a recovery coach get paid? I already answered that. The next one is, what is a peer recovery coach? A peer recovery coach is a recovery coach that usually is peer-to-peer with very limited training that helps another peer recover from a specific issue. A lot of peer recovery coaches do work in the hospital. They will help people go from using and almost overdosing to get into treatment. They're very different than a professional recovery coach in a sense that a peer recovery coach is a little bit more hands-on, and they may drive their client to and from treatment or to and from appointments. Next question. What is a peer recovery specialist? A peer recovery specialist is not a peer recovery coach and is not a recovery coach. A peer recovery specialist is a designation that is given by state. That means each state has a very unique training program and platform for a peer recovery specialist. You would need to check with your state to see if they offer this, and you would need to take the training and the exam at the state level. There is no national designation for a peer recovery specialist at this time. A peer recovery specialist also operates as a case manager in a sense that they set up appointments and help the person get their life organized. However, they are not a coach or coaching in any capacity. Next question. How do I become a recovery coach? You can become a recovery coach in one of many different ways. You can look for an online school or an in-person school. The Addictions Academy is the largest online school for virtual classroom training and live training in 23 countries, 5 languages, with 20 plus faculty members and over 40 classes. They can help you become a certified professional recovery coach because they offer level 1 and level 2. Level 1 consists of the 11 core competencies of coaching. It consists of adding in life skills, coping skills, and defense mechanisms. Level 2 is the mental health side. It teaches you the DSM, which is the mental health diagnostic criteria. It also shows you which drugs are given for mental health issues. Level 2 and level 1 are offered together at the Addictions Academy, along with ethics and 10 weeks of clinical supervision for a full 36-hour program and 10-week program for professional coaching. This is different than peer recovery coaching, which is a 30 to 40-hour program done 5 days in a row with no additional supervision or ongoing education. Okay, I'm going to pause. Okay, I'm going to do the same 6 questions now for intervention. So, number 1, what is an interventionist? An interventionist is a person that helps an active addict, drug or alcohol, go from active use to getting help. The help could be inpatient treatment, it could be detox, it could be partial hospitalization, which is PHP, it could be intensive outpatient, which is IOP. The objective behind an interventionist is to intervene on the bad behavior and disrupt the bad behavior, helping the person go from a bad situation to a better situation. That's what an interventionist does. There are two levels of interventionist. There is intervention professional and advanced clinical intervention professional. Both are offered at the Addictions Academy, with the clinical advanced intervention professional being the larger program. Both contain case management training, ethics training, and 10 weeks of clinical supervision to go over cases to understand how to actually do an intervention in the field. Number 2, how does an interventionist work? An interventionist is generally retained and paid for by the family. An interventionist will help the family get into the proper treatment setting that is aligned with the active user. What that means is an interventionist is supposed to give 3 choices to a treatment center to each family member, or each family unit, Drew, not family member, each family unit, and they get to pick which place they think their loved one would best be suited for. Now, if an interventionist is hired and retained by a treatment center, the interventionist only has to give 1 choice to the family because they are a W-2 employee through the treatment center. They work by showing up, doing the intervention in person, and providing the person transport to the actual place of treatment, whatever that looks like. They also collect the fee directly from the family. They are not supposed to collect a fee from the family and from the treatment center, as that is considered double dipping. Next question. What does an interventionist get paid? Most interventionists will work anywhere between the ranges of $500 to $5,000, with the bigger interventionists charging $10,000 for their time. Interventionists should also do a 2-week pre-lead up where they help the family understand what is going to happen, and that would be included in their fee. The Academy is calling. Let me take. Okay, resuming where I was. So interventionists do not get paid by the treatment center and the family member. They get paid by one or the other. And it should include the 2-week lead up and anything following once they drop the client off. Now scratch that. Scratch that last sentence. It should include the 2-week lead up, the intervention, and dropping off the client. Once the client is dropped off, the interventionist doesn't generally stay with the family unless they're hired on as a recovery coach. Next one. How do I become an interventionist? Okay. To become an interventionist, technically you do not need to be certified. However, training is paramount to understand how to best do an intervention. With 2 different levels at the Addictions Academy, we offer professional intervention and we offer advanced clinical intervention. So the professional intervention is a 2-day workshop that can be live or by virtual classroom webinar, which also includes an exam, 10 weeks of clinical supervision where we go over cases and cover everything that you would need working directly with the family and with the treatment centers. Then we also have advanced clinical intervention professional, which is, and you can put the NCIP in there, Drew, and the NCACP, CIP. The advanced clinical intervention professional includes covering drug, alcohol, porn, and food addiction interventions, and now it also includes technology intervention, which is basically disrupting the behavior. Once you take the 2-day class and you do the online study for case management and the ethics course, we have exams for each and then the 10 weeks to go over the case studies. That is how you can become a certified intervention professional. Pause. Okay, resuming. How do I find a recovery coach? You can find a recovery coach at theaddictionacademy.com. That's our directory. Or you can give us a call directly at 1-800-706-0318, extension 1. We actually personality match the recovery coaches to the client. So instead of just Googling and hoping you get the right person that fits the needs you are looking for, we will actually do a full assessment for an hour, determine your likes and personality traits, and then place you with the most appropriate person in your area or offer you phone and Skype sessions. Next question. How do I find an interventionist? You can find an interventionist by Googling interventionist, or you can give us a call at 1-800-706-0318, extension 2, or check online at our directory. at theaddictionscoach.com. If you click down, you will see different interventionists that are available, and you can call us, and we will be more than happy to find the most appropriate intervention for you and your family. Not every interventionist works correctly with each family. Factors that need to be considered are age and sex of the client and any kind of trauma or clinical issues the client may be going through. We can help you with all of that. And pause. Okay, two more. Where does a recovery coach work? Is your next one. Most recovery coaches will work independently in private practice for themselves. A few will work for treatment centers, social work centers, and even mental health locations. A recovery coach can work in hospitals and also be on the front lines, even though that's not generally what they were designed for. The peer coaching model will train them in that. So recovery coaches can kind of work in the field and anywhere that they need to be. They can work at a yoga studio, on the beach, they can work in Starbucks. They're not bound to an office. Next question. Where does an interventionist work? An interventionist can work in their own community. They can also work directly for the treatment center, helping to place clients into treatment, or be hired by the family and placing the clients into treatment and or other help directly from the family's choice of treatment centers. Most interventionists will give you 3 choices that you can choose which treatment center is best for your family and your family needs. And pause. Okay, so those 2 sets of questions were direct for the academy. These are some more for the academy. How can I become a certified counselor? Siri just picked that up. Don't put that in there. So how can I become a certified counselor? One of the ways to become a certified counselor is to take the 9 domain training, which includes 9 different specific portals, which are required by different states and certification boards. Each board will have different domains. At the Addictions Academy, the 9 domains include clinical evaluation, comma, treatment planning, comma, counseling, comma, case management and referral, comma, client, family, and community education, comma, documentation, comma, ethical and professional responsibilities, comma, understanding addiction treatment knowledge, and lastly, application to practice professional readiness. The last one needs to include 4 hours of HIV and 2 hours of domestic violence, depending on the state that you are in. So the Addictions Academy does offer the training. We are able to offer the training in the United States and in Europe and also in Canada with various certification boards. We just provide the training. We do not provide the actual certification. You have to sit for that exam by state or territory that you are in. And pause. Continuing for Academy. Here you go. How do I find a food addictions coach? Food addiction is on the rise, and the Addictions Academy offers a class called Nationally Certified Food Addictions Coach, and they also offer certified food addictions coaches for hire if you're looking for help with your specific food issue. We can assist with basic issues like bulimia and anorexia, but more importantly, we focus on food addiction. Just like drug and alcohol addiction, people can be addicted to white flour and sugar and even more different types of food if they use them for an emotional attachment. Depending on your family situation, your upbringing, and even your trauma, food may be your go-to. Also, if you're in recovery for drugs or alcohol, as are most heroin addicts and alcoholics, they reach for sugar. They will reach for donuts, Snickers bars, and other such assorted sundries when they are feeling like they need a dopamine serotonin boost. So we do cover food addictions coaching, and we can give you a food addictions coach, or we can also train you to be one. And pause. That's cool. Looks really good.
I added the potatoes, as that was not part of the Sunbasket menu, but I wanted them.
Okay.
Pretty good looking dinner, huh?
Great. Thank you.
That's Louis.
T. Louis.
She spells the steak and like steak. Of course, I take a piece for my did. Yes, Chi, I saved you some steak. I did. Give me a second, I'll make your plate. Well, now you have some steak. Yeah. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. He's coming for you, Beth. Coming for your steak.
Hi, baby. Daddy said he has steak for you.
I do. I do.
Daddy's gonna feed you, buddy. Chi-Chi, will I ever be able to have a meal without having to stop and feed the Chi-Chi?
I got theirs coming. That pesto sauce is really good. You like it?
Did that come with it?
Yeah. Why?
I would never have thought to put pesto sauce on steak. It was different.
No, that's a different kind of sauce. The pesto sauce goes on the veggies.
Oh,
That's the stuff that went on the steak and was called, let's see, had a name to it, started with a C.
chimichurri.
That's it.
It's different. I've never had that. Chi-Chi? Chi-Chi? I can't drink those. They'll give me heartburn. Thank you. I didn't know they'd give me heartburn.
Nice big steak. Alone and eat your steak. That's really good for you guys.
It's very tasty.
I'm asking it really good with their flavor. You're having filet mignon again, buddy.
More steak? Yes. You went
Like
from
it,
death row to filet mignon, Chi-Chi.
So funny to me.
What, they went from death row to filet mignon?
Tis? Auntie?
Chi-Chi.
No, Go back there looking for his steak. Did he eat it all?
No, he hasn't even touched it. Alright, I can't get this to print. I'm gonna have to send this over to FedEx. Mr. Chief, here. You don't want this? Mr. Chief? Why do I have to hand feed this dog?
He is Mr. GT. He is the Mr. GT. Yeah, good too, huh?
Very good. The whole thing's good.
Aww.
What happened?
This lady black lady's battling dementia, and she's got a little chihuahua that was her emotional support dog. It's a little black and white girl chihuahua named Lola. And
What happened?
looks like she either
Alright, forget it. You told me half the story and left it there. Not like that.
I'm watching it.
Alright, no tell me you put it, you figure it out.
She either tied the dog up outside Publix and somebody stole it, or her dementia, she lost track of her dog and somebody took it.
That's
The lady
horrible.
She hasn't slept since she lost the dog. What's that? Very sad.
Well,
You're just you're looking for cars.
take a cake for there's good cake or not?
What? Yes.
You know,
Gee, I'm back there trying to make my look feel good, and you're back there polishing this cake. Her name is Lola. She's black and white. I couldn't hear the whole story, that's why I was pausing. It sounds like I don't know.
One of the girls that I used to
Hi, Elfie.
back in the day, opened outside a coffee store. And I got coffee and called the shop. And she was so distraught. She ended up getting drunk at night in the bar.
That's all Elfie needed. Look, Mama, you came out of hiding.
Oh, baby. Baby, Abby just needed some love.
It's okay, buddy.
You can have Albie snacks.
Oh. Oh, Elfie. Oh, Elfie.
Oh, it's good for her. I think the body had it last night.
You smell pretzels back there when you opened it up.
Oh, I tried doing something. Alright, I'm gonna finish this for Drew tonight. I'll get plenty to work on.
Elfie. We'll sit in our big chair in a minute, Elfie. We'll sit in our big chair and watch TV, Elfie. As soon as I clean up the sink. As soon as I clean up the sink, buddy. One minute, Elfie. Elfie. I guess I just gotta start talking to my Bichon again, like I used to. I used to talk to my Bichon all the time. Right, Elfie? Right, Elfie? Good boy. Good boy. You're still my buddy. You're still my buddy, not my friend. Snaggle you some stress. We don't need any stress. Darn Snaggle will be stress. Next shopping trip, I need SOS pads.
Okay.
Don't be sad. Don't be sad. I'm still your buddy. I'm still your It's clean. Louis. G. Louis. G. Louis. Just got to think about me there. Probably one. Think about me. What's this little stem from, Dave? Is it from the 90s?
Yeah, I accidentally threw the ball and knocked it off. That tree is so small that that's a big chunk of it.
Good boy, Alfie. Good boy, Alfie. You got it. Wherever that was, you snatched it. Snatched it up. I don't know what it was, but you snatched it. Nice. Mom, you want this water or no?
What is?
I think it's your water. Maybe it's mine.
And resume. Where do I find a recovery coach job? Many different organizations will hire a recovery coach or a nationally certified recovery coach or a certified peer coach to work in a treatment center, helping clients stay sober during the treatment process and continuing on once they complete the actual process. Recovery coaches can also be in private practice, or they can work for mental health facilities, social work facilities, or even governmental agencies. And pause. How do I reduce my... No, change that. How do I stop clients from leaving treatment? It is very difficult to get clients to stay engaged in treatment for a full continuum of care. However, the Addictions Coach has developed a new class and program called AMA APA Block Training. This is for treatment centers that want to keep their clients in treatment longer. We actually have a system that is based off our RAD model of intervention. Drew, that's RAD, R-A-A-D, model of intervention that allows the client to be engaged from the minute they walk in the door all the way through and to the end, completing the 28-day program. This proprietary training is very specific to the needs of a treatment center and its population. At the Addictions Academy, we offer this training in the treatment center live or by virtual classroom, and we do a one-stop shop where you can have everyone in the classroom setting for one flat fee. Please call us at 1-800-706-0318 extension 2 and pause and resume. How do I get more clients in my treatment center? Question mark. Getting clients in treatment is not just getting qualified leads from approved ethical streams and sources. It is also learning to convert the leads you have to actual clients. The Addictions Academy offers a training called Admissions Call Center Training to train the admissions staff in ethical conversion from lead to client. Getting people to come into treatment is a very specific type of sales call and closing. It's also very difficult to have the person answer the phone who has 6 months clean or 1 year clean. The Addictions Academy will train your staff, make sure you have the appropriate staff that can take the calls and they know what to ask for and to pre-screen adequately so that the clients that they do have come in, they're not turning away for insurance issues. The Addictions Academy is one of a few places that offers call center training and admissions call center training within the addiction space, specific to the addiction space and pot.